Voices swirl around in your head along with animal noises. The loud clang of metal hitting a hard surface echoes into your mind. You feel the warm breath of something on your cheek as chills run down your spine. A sudden prick in your arm opens your eyes. A man with short black hair hovers over you with a sweet smile. You try to move, but your body just won't listen to you. You can only move your eyes as you watch this man examine your body. So, Paulina, what do you think of breasts? He says softly with a sweet voice. At small sizes, they can be fun, but once they get bigger, they become nuisances. Back pains and obstacles galore, a woman with a soft voice says in the nurse's outfit. He picks up a scalpel and runs it gently against the flesh of your breast. So no breast for the little subject, he says with a glint of evil sparkles in his eyes. Ed, Paulina says with a tone of disappointment. Paulina, he replies. You have no right to remove her breasts, Paulina says softly, rubbing her flat chest through her outfit. The only reason I'm not pissed off at you for removing mine was because mine were enormous. And now that they are gone, my back feels great. She looks down with sadness in her eyes. You feel the scalpel get placed softly on your stomach as Ed walks up to Paulina. He wraps his arms around her and whimpers escape her lips. Forgive me. It was wrong to remove all your breasts. I've left you as flat as a cutting board. Paulina just nods and shakes off her sadness. Well, let's get back to the job at hand. The past is the past and we need to press on to the future so that you can do what you need to do. Right, Ed replies, walking back to you, and presses the scalpel against the flesh of your stomach. A sharp pain spreads from just below your rib cage. So what shall we call this one? I wouldn't know. Let me ask her. She walks up to your face, kisses your cheek. What is your name, little one? You try to move your lips, but they refuse to part. Guess we dosed her with the wrong amount. At least she isn't screaming. I doubt the doctors upstairs would want to know what I'm doing with this old operating room. Then again, knowing mouse and infection, we don't have much time. Ed says as the scalpel reaches your crotch, stinking pain growing as you feel the air blowing past your newly opened cut. Another sharp pain makes your hips buck as the scalpel enters your left hip, and slowly and painfully makes its way to your right side. Well, Mouse is a lovely cat that, like you, loves blood and surgery. It's a bit hard to keep him away as the scent of blood enters his nose, Paulina says, patting up the cuts so that they don't bleed out too fast. He's like Medic's gloves Archimedes, isn't he? Ed says once more, inserting the scalpel into your body, except this time just below the rib cage, effectively making an eye incision. Now let's see how well she looks inside. Beauty is said to be skin deep, right? Let's see her true beauty, he says, spreading your skin at the incision, exposing your organs and muscles to the cold air of the room. A faint whimper escapes your lips, startling Ed. Well, it looks like someone is starting to resist the paralytic. If you can tell me your name as it is on your ID, then I'll sew you back up and let you return to your days. I'll make sure you remember how you got these wounds, he says, slipping a finger underneath your ribcage. Jen. The words struggle to slip out your teeth as you cringe in pain from what Ed is doing. His smirk grows as he closes the wound, letting Paulina sew it back up properly. He brings the scalpels to your lip and looks into your eyes. His crystal blue eyes with flecks of green pierce deep into your soul. So, Jen, do you like pain? As he says, that part of your mind clicks. You remember earlier that day. Ed sits on a platform with a guitar and plays a lovely love song, while his friends play behind him, all harmonizing and moving like they had choreographed their movements. A sweet smile is on his face, and his hair, although uneven, seemed to be well kept and glorious in the light of the spotlight. His eyes pierce into your heart, even though you were seated in the back of the room. Each of his words sounded like he was singing them just for you. Every day I see you with your lovely smile, your hair shining in the light like a goddess, your lips puckered like you're ready for my kiss. You catch those lines as they seem to describe you, but his gaze is on another woman who doesn't even notice his gaze. A bit of jealousy creeps up on your heart. Why does she get a lovely song and not even know it, while you are mesmerized by his words and his eyes, and you get nothing? Suddenly you feel a lovely chill as you just notice the music has stopped and is now in front of you, ordering a drink over you, then settling beside you. So what's her name, Ed? One of his friends asked, sipping on his drink. No name. I just felt like singing a love song. Ed says, taking a shot of tequila. The chill grows as the light glint off his eyes and reflects into your mind. Lies! A female friend of his screams, chugging down a beer afterwards. You aren't the type to sing a love song without a reason. "'Tis not lies, 'tis truth," he says with his back to you. The urge to tap his shoulder, to get his attention swarms your fingers, making your hand shake as you try to take sips of your own drink. Suddenly a squeak escapes your lips as he turns around and accidentally rubs his hand against the side of your thigh, his hand gripping a set of keys strapped by a chain to his belt loop. His hand taunts you to reach out for it. Your eyes are fixed upon the cute little charm of a kid that hangs between his fingers. You get the courage to look up and ask him about it, but when you look up, his eyes meet yours, and a look of surprise consumes your face as he looks at you, wondering about the squeak that escaped your lips. "You all right, little one?" he says softly with a look of wonder on his face. You see scars on his face just below his eyes, and on his lip without your knowledge. Your hands reach up and touch the scars on his lip, gently stroking it. His eyes widen, and he doesn't pull away, he just looks at you. "What's up, little one?" he says, reaching out to your hand, moving it away from his lip. You snap back into reality, and another squeak escapes as you pull your hand away. "I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. I just got mesmerized by your appearance." "Yeah, it's the eyes. Eyes have a way of invading people's bubbles and overriding their exceptions list, allowing me to get rather close. Forgive me. I get too close to you, my love," he says with a smile. The words, "my love," echo deep into your mind, into your heart. You knew he meant nothing by it, but it made your heart feel warm. As the memory makes your heart melt, you feel fingers wiggling in your chest, and your memory fades to the view of your ribcage open wide, and Ed's wrist deep into your chest, his hand invading your body. Your body feels lovely on your heart. It feels as if you can feel his sweetness through the fingertips of his gloves he is wearing. His fingers gently wrap around the valves and caress your muscles. You start to feel a sensation between your legs. Then it hits you. This pain, this situation. You're getting turned on by his invasion of not just your privacy or your life, but of your entire body. You are literally in his hands, but you want his hands inside you, no matter the pain. You want him to take you apart just so he can be inside of you. A tear runs down your cheek as sadness consumes your heart and mind. As your vision blurs, you feel one of his fingers wipe a tear away, and he removes the surgical mask he was wearing and kisses your cheek softly before whispering in your ear, "I'm sorry for getting too close, my love." His voice whispers into your ear, but it reaches your heart. Your heart begins to ache as your legs shake. Once more you slip back into the memories of earlier. So, shall we leave you two alone? His male friend says, wrapping his arm around the female friend. If y'all want, Ed says softly before turning to look at you with a playful smirk, then turns quickly to his friends. I think she might want y'all gone. The three of them giggle before his friends walk away, leaving the two of you alone at the bar. His hands know just where to touch to make all the nervousness melt away. You can't help but smile and look into his eyes as your hand seeks his. Slowly your hand takes his. You intertwine fingers. He just smiles and kisses your hand. Seems like someone has been lonely for a while, hasn't she? He says without looking at you, just taking another shot of tequila. Yeah, my ex left me for another girl younger than me. He was a fucking jerk. Definitely sounds like one. Sorta. He says, squeezing your hand softly. Sorta? You question, confused. Yeah, it's in every man's nature to seek a younger, more viable female to continue on his bloodline and to continue the human race. It takes a real man to stick to one girl, no matter her age or anything. Sadly, I've yet to find a woman I deem worthy enough to spend the rest of my life with, as douchey as it sounds. He says, tapping the shot glass on the counter, staring at it as it hits. No, it's not douchey. It's good that you have an idea of what you want, and you are willing to spend your life with one woman. It's a great sight that you aren't like every other guy I've met, you say to him, squeezing his hand to emphasize your feeling. I guess. Still, though I'm 36, I would have thought that I would have at least had some exploits, but yet here I sit, with a looks at your body, then continues. 23-year-old who has seen the shit spectrum of the species of what can still be called man, who is flirting up a storm with me. Your eyes widen and you look down, letting go of his hands. I thought you didn't notice. Love, of course I notice. You're a package of sexiness and sweetness. If a guy can't see that you want him, then he shouldn't deserve the lovely gaze you've been giving me. Personally, I do feel the urge to give you what you want, he says, slipping his arm across the top of the chair, gently stroking your cheek. A smile forms, and you turn to his, trying to look angry at him. I am not a slut. I do not want a one-night stand, you manage to say before he kisses you deeply. The taste of tequila overwhelms your taste buds, but you lean into the kiss and slip your tongue into his mouth. His tongue softly caresses the invader you have sent in to probe him. His hand gently strokes your inner thigh and slips over ever closer to the crotch of your underwear. You grab his hand and pull it away, smirking, pulling away from the kiss. If you want to get that close, you need to impress me a bit more than that. A playful smirk forms on his lips, and he looks around before taking your hand and walking you outside. He walks you around the corner, lightly presses you against the wall, and kisses you even deeper. This time, his tongue invades your mouth. Your tongue tries fruitlessly to push his back, but you're not used to getting probed. You normally are the one who starts this, but his eagerness has overwhelmed you. You shiver and begin to stop fighting, letting your tongue caress his hand caressing your every curve. Your shivers slowly make your legs part, and one of his hands hikes up your skirt, exposing your lace panties to the world. You smirk and bite his tongue. So you've impressed me, you say, pulling your skirt down. Where shall we finish this? He smirks and kisses you softly. My place. He walks you to his car, drives you to his place. He lives in a small house, a bit out of town. You walk in and immediately start removing your clothing, making your way to his bedroom. But he wanders off. Once he gently tosses you onto his bed playfully. Your groin throbs as you wait for him to return. You start to rub yourself to relieve the aching groin. When he walks in with wine and strawberries, he sits next to you and pours a couple of glasses of wine. Forgive me for wandering off, but I don't just have sex. I set the mood and make love, he says, licking his lips, looking at your hand between your legs. You take a glass and sip some and kiss his cheek as you reach for his cot. and stroke it. You feel his cock throb and even harder in your hands. A soft moan escapes his lips as you stroke it softly at first and squeeze it to tease him. But instead he kisses you, pulls you closer, making you let go and lifts you onto his lap. Foreplay is over, love. Right now, all I want is to have your body on mine. His cock enters you throbbing, pulsating, seeming to spread your very being. His cock thrusts deep inside of you. Your back faces him. His hands massage your breast and nipples, sending waves of pleasure through your body. His unit thrusts deeper inside of you, making it harder to resist the urge to move your hips. Suddenly, you feel a pain on your neck, but it feels good. You turn to see what it is, but your vision blurs and everything goes black. Love. Love. Ed says, gently poking your cheek with his gloved hand. I think I've killed little Jen. No, 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 I'm alive, you say suddenly, making Ed jump and accidentally stab his arm with a scalpel. You jump up and Paulina holds you down. Be careful. We just finished showing you up. Forgive me, young Jennifer. I know you wanted to have sex with me, and I started it, but alas, I didn't finish the urge to open you up and see your insides. Quite a wonderful body you have, he says, placing a hand on the table between your legs. Then his eyes widen. How did I miss this? You're rather wet down here, aren't you? I was sure I cleaned you off before, but wait. Oh my. Seems little Jennifer got her rocks off with my hands inside of her. You blush slightly before leaning in to kiss his cheek. Thank you, Ed. That was what she called you, right? Yeah, I go by Ed. So you rather enjoyed my hands, he says with a smirk. You just nod and smile as he leans in to kiss your lips softly. Then I don't need to apologize for leaving this out, right? He lifts up a heart. Oh my God, is that? You scream as he giggles. Nope, it's a bad heart. The surgeons upstairs couldn't use it because it warmed up and rotted, he says, looking at it. It was the heart of a middle-aged woman who died in a wreck. From the photos, she looked like a lovely lady. He continues before biting into the heart. Tastes rather lovely. Your eyes widen and you're staring, somewhat surprised at the sight. What are you doing? Letting her live on forever as a part of me. He replies, eating more of the heart. He pulls the scalpel out of his arm and licks the blood off it. So here is a question for you. He slides his hand away from your crotch, lifts it, letting the light shimmer off of your juices. Do you want to return to the world as if this never happened? Would you like to live with me and be one of my prize experiments from now on? I want to be near you. I don't know why, but I just want to be near you even if it means I'm not the target of your attention, you say, getting up and standing in front of Ed and tiptoeing to kiss his lips, and he returns the kiss. It's the eyes, love. The eyes.